Okay, we are now live. Okay, good evening, good evening. There's Octavius. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Yes, ma'am. Octavius.
All right, Octavius. So I'm so happy that you joined me tonight just to have a conversation about this important topic. A lot of times, it doesn't really get as much conversation as it should. So I'm glad that you were able to join me. So give us a little background. Tell us your story and how you became an advocate for, gun survivors.
Oh man, sorry, good God, man. So I'm 28. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. Um, with me going into like an adult, it was real difficult though. Like especially not having a father figure in your life or having your father around, and like your mom just like in and out of your life. And I kind of like got tired of it. So when I was out here looking for love, I found love in all the wrong places, and I was young at this time, so therefore I found love in the streets. And as I got older, I started to learn that the streets doesn't love anybody. Only thing that you'll get out the streets is either a casket or a court date. You feel me?
Yeah.
And at the age of 20, I think like 20, I was 23 or 24. Me and my ex, we had moved up to Asheville, and I had got to the point where it was like, well, I want to go to a different city where I don't know anybody, I don't know nothing, and then just like do like a full reset. So when I went up there, I went to college for culinary, and once I graduated, I was automatically landed a job as executive chef at Hotel Indigo.
Oh,
So yeah, so with that, it was like really, really difficult. But like, I started. What really inspired me though, and to keep going is I see like the youth, and I can relate to them. I can relate to that young black man or the young white dude. You feel me? Because it's not a color thing anymore. But my main
right.
focus is the black community. But and like growing up with having no father figure, no love, and feel like you're alone in this world when in reality you're not alone. It's always somebody that's gonna believe in you. It's always somebody that's gonna see you for you in the future. And I just look at the youth now and just be like, wow, like if you only knew your full potential. That's
Yeah.
it. Your full potential.
So take us to the night of your incident.
Oh man, so the night I got shot, it was a week before my 25th birthday, like literally like 7 days before my 25th birthday. And as you know, like the quote of the streets is, if you make it to 25, like you already made it in life. And so the night of my shooting, I had just got done playing basketball because I had came back to Charlotte for a minute because I was in a relationship and it was like a rocky river. So I came back to Charlotte just to see my own growth, just to see how far I came. Because when I came back, it was the same people, like my friends, still doing the same thing. Still posting, still not doing anything with their life. Like they're just still doing the same thing. So like it made me snap back into reality. And once I snapped back into reality, caught the Greyhound to Asheville. I'm gonna have a daughter as well. So caught the Greyhound, went to Asheville. My daughter met me at the park. So I was chilling with her, and then next thing you know, I was walking down the street and I heard gunshots, and I was like, "Well, somebody's shooting." Like I don't care about it though, because I've been around gun violence all my life. So somebody was shooting, and like I didn't notice I was the one that got shot until like I felt like I peed on myself, and like once I looked down, I just seen nothing but blood. Like literally like nothing but blood.
And was
So
your daughter with you at the time? Was
no,
your
my
daughter
daughter,
with? Okay.
she
Okay.
wasn't with me. She wasn't with
Okay.
me. She wasn't with me. So and then like I had got shot on the sidewalk. And instead of me going like leaning my head all the way back, falling backwards because my head would have hit the concrete, I kind of like fell forward to where like my face would hit the grass because I just felt like if I fall backwards and then my head hit the concrete, it's over. And it was dark. It wasn't like any lights around at that time neither. So like I'm right here, and then like the light to where I had to cross to was like all the way across the street. And I'm laying on the ground like, God, please don't take me like this. Like I never really prayed like that until that day. And then like that's another thing that we have to work on too. Like don't just pray when you need something, pray all the time, whether it's good or bad.
Okay. All right. My apologies. I know you understand from being a DJ. You understand sometimes technical things happen.
Listen, I definitely, you are saying that right there.
Yes. So okay, so back to you were saying that when you were on the ground, you were leaning forward instead of leaning backwards.
Yeah, because I didn't want to
Um,
hit my head. I definitely didn't want to hit my head on the concrete because I knew it would have been over then and there, Like, because one, I got shot a total of, I think it was like 4 times, all in my
mm,
back. It was 2 or 4.
wow.
So when that happened, it was like, I just, because I watched a lot of First 38 and Law and Order, like you can really learn
Mhm.
something from them shows though, you
Oh
know?
yeah.
Like, as long as you read between the lines, you definitely can learn a lot. So it was just like, I leaned forward, and at that moment, like I couldn't feel my legs. Like I had my phone in my pocket, but like I was reaching down, but I couldn't feel anything though. It's like my whole body just went numb. Like my upper
Mm,
body was like, okay, I can feel stuff up here, but then like as I'm like trying to reach for my phone, it was impossible. Like it was super impossible. So at that moment, I was just yelling like, help, help! I got shot. Like I just see the lights, like the car lights is going past me. Car lights is going past me, and I'm like I'm just like in deep prayer right now. I'm like I can't go like this. I got to live for my daughter. I got to live for me. Like it's
right.
stuff I want to go ahead and accomplish before like I leave this earth. And then plus I'm 24 years old. I don't want to be another victim. Or statistic. You feel me? Because we lose a lot of
Right.
our brothers before they even hit the age of 19, 20, 25. And as much stuff that I've been through, much stuff I've been through, like I just survived a lot, even before like me getting shot. I survived a lot of situations where like I could have been gone. But because of like smart decisions and intelligence, it's like boom, and I can't even say that it's because of God, because He knew He
Right.
knows how my heart is. Like I done survived a lot, I done did a lot, and I'm still here, and I'm here for a reason. So as I'm crawling right to get towards the light, it was like at one moment I was just giving up, like everything I've been through in life, like all my memories just flashing through my head right now. Like I always thought like that wasn't real until you get in that position, like when you're about to die, like literally your life does flash in front of you and like in your face. So I'm crawling and I'm still yelling help. I'm still yelling help. But like at this moment, like my voice is getting dimmer, like
Hmm.
I'm running out of energy. I'm getting dehydrated. And then at one moment I just felt like I was going to sleep. I felt like I was going to sleep. And then like once you close your eyes, it's a wrap. Like you're gone. And like right when I felt like it was over, like the whole situation was over, I'm finna be another statistic. My daughter got to come see me at the funeral home. My son got to come see me. My mom's got to come to my funeral. All of that. It was like somebody touched me. And then like once they touched me, it just woke me back up. And I'm still thankful to this day for that man. It was a security guard at Mission Hospital. Mind you, it was like 10, 20 cars just already already passing me. But luckily, like he heard my screams, and he heard the gunshot. And like luckily, like that man saved my life. And to this day, I will forever thank that man.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. So yeah, I can't even imagine that experience and how you were feeling. And like you said, until you're in that situation, you never know what it feels like for your life to flash before your
Right,
eyes.
right.
So and on this journey now that you're out here and you turned your life around, you know what I'm saying? You didn't let that keep you down. So what has been your biggest strength here, pushing you forward? So I know you talked about your daughter, and did you say you have a son as well?
Yeah, yeah. Have a little thing. Look like me too, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So in your daughter, you found strength to pick up and move forward and kind of put your life back on track, even with the obstacles that you face moving forward.
Right. Man, like my biggest strength is me and knowing like what I'm here for a reason. Like it took me a minute, a while to realize it. Like a long time to even like after I got shot, because even though I was younger, I always been like a leader. Like people like will attract themselves to me because of my leadership. And because like I kind of think outside of the box most of the times. Like you can put a dude that's from the streets been in the streets, did everything in the streets into a college educated community, then everything that he learns in the streets, he's gonna go ahead and switch it over and put it into something different, you know. And that's how I really did it. But my biggest strength was knowing like I'm still here, even though I'm in a wheelchair. Like I'm still here, I'm still waking up every day, and my mission is not complete yet. So like my main strength is my faith, you know. Of course, my kids. That is rhetorical. But my main strength right now is like my like just me in general. Like it's this right here, you know.
Yeah. And so as you move through this process, you know, who did you have to like lean on? You know, was it your family members, was someone in the community who helped you push you through this process? Because I know, you know, having to go to therapy and things like that to try to just get back to some normalcy, you know.
So it was definitely my grandma. You know, it was definitely my grandma. Yeah, definitely my grandma. Definitely my family members, a couple of my friends, you know. Couple of my friends, and like music, definitely music. Even when I like was waking up in the hospital, you know, like the first thing I wanted to hear was music. Like I wanted to hear either songs, instrumentals, something. You know, like even when I was in like when my first day coming out of ICU, I asked for a notebook and a pen. You know, because I wanted to write about everything. You know, like every day that I was in the hospital, I wanted to write about it, and I did that.
And that's good. Now, and when your daughter sees you, and this, you know, like I was saying before in my message to you, like for my dad, when my dad was shot, and then you know he came to live with me, my kids looked at his wheelchair as you know a toy. So does your the same thing? Want to get up and take a ride, you know, and not because you know as parents, you know, our kids still look at us as superheroes, you know, and so they don't see the other parts. They're not worried about that you're in a wheelchair. So did she just jump up because she thinks she's going for a ride, wheelchair, playing things like that?
Yeah. So like I'm actually in Charlotte. My daughter stays in Asheville. But when I was in Asheville, like she didn't care about none of that. You know, like they don't see injuries. They just see love. You know, like they don't see none of that. But then like as she gets older, you know, like I am gonna have to set them down. And like even my son, because before I got shot, I wasn't able to see my son. I was going through like a really bad battle with custody and everything. So I haven't seen my son in like 5 years. And then like it was his first time seeing me in a wheelchair. And like he didn't see the wheelchair, you know, he just seen his father. That's the only thing he seen was just his daddy, you know, came up, hugged me and everything, you know, like we go out somewhere, he want to push me. I'm like, nah, you know, like, no, you don't have to do that. You know, like, no, you might, you know.
Yeah.
That's just sweet.
But you know how kids are. They feel like, you know, like I said, they don't pay attention to it, but they do know that it's, in his mind, it's like, you know, this is my dad. If he needs help, I want to help him the way possible. So that's great. That's really sweet. So now when as you've gone maneuvering through this process, you know, for us in the Black community, you know, we always, you know, our parents is always like, you know, pray on it. You know, when it comes to like getting into therapy, counseling. So did you go to any therapy or counseling, or did you, you know, you do your own thing, your whole self healing for yourself?
So with me and like I don't really like to talk to strangers about my problems. You know, like never been like that. I really go ahead and put it down in a song or something. You know, and like. When I did go to physical therapy for a while, but then when it comes down to like actual therapy, talking to a therapist, I chose not to do so. You know, because I feel like I'd rather talk to somebody that I can relate to. You know, somebody that can actually understand what I'm going through. Somebody that can actually like, boom, like you know, like we can just set ideas back and forth. But not somebody that's just getting paid just to talk to me. You know, or just getting paid just to listen. For what you can't relate to me, and I can't relate to you. You know, so. I just rather talk to the people that I know, you know.
So you found your community, and also through your music that you can be able to kind of navigate through your situation. Okay, well that's good. You know, whatever you know. A lot of times it's whatever that's going to get you through it. You know, if that's the world you chose, and that's what you needed to do for yourself. That's
you gotta get through it regardless. You're gonna have to.
Most definitely. Now, so you DJ. So how did you get into DJing? I know you say music was your thing. So Now you over here, you spending on the ones and twos. How
Yeah.
does that change? How does that play into your life right now?
Okay, so like I've been writing. So after I lost my father at 11, like that was my first sign of trauma and self healing right there. So I started writing poetry at 11 just to heal myself because instead of me going like I used to fight a lot too though. Don't get me wrong. But
Mhm.
like when I'm in a room by myself, like that's the only thing that I do is like write. But then when I go to school and then like I see people like when I was younger, I seen people with their parents. I used to always get jealous. Like why my daddy not here? Like why my mom's not here with me for? Like why do y'all have this and I don't have that? So and that led up to me fighting a lot. Getting kicked out of school at a young age, going back and forth. Going to boot camp, and it was like. But at the end of the day, when I'm alone by myself with nobody else in the room, only thing that I do is just write. It's just right. I couldn't talk to my moms. My father wasn't there. My father was already dead. I didn't talk to my brothers or anything. So it was just like, damn, something I can do.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, and music is most definitely a way to try to navigate through things because I mean you hear a lot of people's lives in songs. So
Mhm.
it's another healing process, a way of healing and getting through things. So that's good. So now, where can the people find you, listen to you?
Oh, look, Facebook, man, and I also do radio. So
Mhm.
radio, the company's website is www.ifm-radio.com, and you can find me on Facebook as your official self. Even though I am a DJ, I can still cook for you too. I can cook on the ones and twos, and I can cook in the kitchen. However you want it, you can have it.
Okay. You got the culinary skills. 'Cause I know you did say you went to school. So now how is that, maneuvering, now in a wheelchair in the kitchen? I mean, just because you're in a wheelchair don't mean you can't still do some of the things in the kitchen. So you just move around and get through it. So
I'm still cooking.
some of the dishes that you be cooking up. Tell me some of them specialties that you be cooking up in the kitchen.
So my specialty is Caribbean food. I love Caribbean food and Vietnamese food. I'm still
Okay.
working on my Vietnamese part though, but my specialty dish is curry chicken. It's definitely spicy, real spicy, and it's authentic too.
Okay.
Right there. But like with me being a DJ in a wheelchair, it is like I am not gonna say it's difficult, but at times it could be difficult depending on like the venue, depending on like if the venue, because a lot of these clubs don't really have like handicap accessible places. It really
Right.
depends. But like with me, I don't care if I gotta go up a million stairs. I'm gonna go up them million stairs because at the end of the day, this wheelchair is not gonna hold me back from doing anything. I might need somebody to like hold the wheelchair or lift the wheelchair up, to take it up the stairs. But listen, I'm gonna go get it regardless. You know,
That's good. That determination,
right?
that nonstop, attitude and determined to keep moving forward and not seeing that this and as a way to just hold you back. That's
Right.
great. That's
This,
amazing.
this is
So
my
what message do you have for any other young kids that may be out here that's going through or been through what you've already been through and just trying to navigate and figure out how to push forward?
look. First thing first is put yourself in a dark room. No music, no nothing. Just you and your thoughts. Put yourself in a dark room and start soul searching. Think about everything that you're doing in your life right now. Think about what you want to do in your life in the future. If you have friends that's not really helping you elevate or help grow with you, but bringing you down, then go ahead and cut them friends off. No matter how long y'all known each other, at the end of the day, you have to live for you. You came in this world by yourself, and you're gonna leave in that casket by yourself, regardless of any situation. So no matter what you're going through right now, man, just keep pushing, keep fighting, and just know what's gonna happen. You just gotta make it happen. Ain't nothing gonna get handed to you. You gotta go out. You gotta go out here and get it, regardless. Even if you got two legs or you got two legs and two wheels, you gotta go get it, baby, regardless.
That's true. That's true. Well, that is a great message to leave leave the young folks with because they need to hear that and they need to be able to see that anything is possible, no matter what the situation, no matter what hand you've been dealt. If you are determined, you can succeed in anything, and you can continue to push forward and live your life to the fullest. So that
Definitely.
is a great message for them. Um, I really appreciate you taking the time with me tonight. I really appreciate you sharing your story because I know it's going to help somebody else along the way. But you keep pushing forward. Oh, what about that book you plan on writing?
I look, so the book is titled. So I'm going through like two different titles because
Okay.
my first one is called Redemption. My first title is called Redemption because it's like I want to show y'all like the real straight raw version of what it's like to grow up in a gang, go up through like without parents, like basically every young black man's emotions, his thoughts, because like when you growing up, if you be emotional, then you weak, but then if you show no emotion, it's gonna really conquer your heart once you get older though. I want to show the streets like, yo, you can go ahead and show emotions, but don't wear your emotions on your sleeve. Yeah, man. But then
Yeah.
the other one is called Finally Made It. Finally Made It. Because what I mean by that is like I'm not saying like, oh man, I'm like a man or anything like that. I'm rich in spirit, yeah, man. Rich in spirit, all that. But like the other idea was finally made it. And what I mean by that is because like I finally made it into the person that I want to become. The person that everybody back in the day since I was growing up knew that I would become, because at the end of the day, like I finally made it to where I'm comfortable with myself. You feel me? I finally made it to where I'm showing myself that self-love, and finally made it where I'm showing myself that respect that I supposed to been have for myself. That's why I want to call it finally made it. Or
Okay.
I can just put it both together. Finally made it after the redemption, or something like that.
Hey. Well, you don't want the title to be too long, but but hey, tell your story because your story will most definitely help somebody else. Everybody has something that they can share that will help somebody else along the way on their path and their journey pushing forward. So hey, I'm looking forward to reading that one. So
Actually,
definitely
I'm the first one to get it.
make it happen. Make it happen.
You
Um,
know,
but I greatly appreciate you taking the time with me tonight. Sharing your story is wonderful, and I'm glad that you know what I'm saying that you're pushing forward. Those beautiful kids to think about, and the ones and twos, and this new book that you're gonna put out here. In hopefully in the next year or so, we'll be reading your story, and it's gonna be a great thing.
I'm
So
with it. I
DJ
want to
Spit
interview. I want to interview you next time. Yeah. I want to interview you on my radio.
Oh, most definitely. Just let me know. I'll come through.
Look, I
Most
got
definitely.
you. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
All right.
Bye. Everybody, that was Octavius Boozer. He calls himself DJ Spitsum. He was sharing his story with us tonight on how he's overcome being a victim of gun violence. So tune in next week. Yeah, no, that ain't edit.